but we were at 4,500 feet elevation.
Testing, one,
We lived
two,
in an
three, four.
1892
Testing.
Victorian
I'm supposed
that
to talk
had
to you
all wood
guys?
stoves.
Okay.
It got 20 below zero.
I get to talk first because I'm the girl. So first of all, I just want to thank everybody for coming. We have such a diverse group of people here because our life has. Oh, you were doing that. Okay. Our life has been very full and rich, and we've had the opportunity to meet so many different people in all the different things that we've done. Jim and I met, and we met first 31 years ago. We were married 30 years ago, so we've done a lot of this business together, but Jim had been making the flutes for 20 years before I even met him. We met because I was doing these decorated eggs, and I went to a craft fair, and this cute guy sat, serenaded me all day with his flutes, Yeah, and kind of, we were married a year later and have two beautiful children. And the biggest thing that I have appreciated about our lifestyle and our business is that we've been able to both work at home and raise our kids. And that is invaluable. I think our kids like that too. But we've been able to, be with them, and we have an artist, and we have a kind of a chemist, environmental, biochemist. But just very proud of our kids for pursuing their passions the way we've pursued ours through the years. And we've been able to do, Renaissance fairs and meet some different people and just do some different things. We did business trade shows for a very long, 38 years of trade shows, and I think we were finally done with those. We're going to stick more close to home. But it's just been, I don't know, to me it's a dream life. Not always easy. We've struggled just like everybody. It wasn't easy. But we've had a lot of help along the way. We've had some fantastic employees. One of our oldest is here. Previous, one of our first employees. Yeah, there we go. And who actually, one of her jobs was rocking the babies so I could get something done. So, anyway, Jim started the flutes back in 1974, and I'm going to let him kind of share a little bit about how he came up with the idea, how he started, and where it went there.
Figment and Twitch.
Okay.
That was the quote, the Dumbledore. Anyway, thank you. Okay. So, I started when I was 19 years old. I was working going to become a chemistry teacher, and then I found out when I went to college that chemistry was math. It was not exploring and mixing things together and see if they explode. It was math, and so it was my least favorite science subject. But we did get to work with some glass, and so I went to the student science service, and you could buy one piece of glass. And they go, what are you going to do with this piece of glass? And they were, of course, thought I was going to make a pot pipe or something. And so, well, they made them back then, yes. So I told them, no, I was going to make a flute. And they went, oh, you can't make a flute out of glass. It just isn't going to work. I don't know why not. So anyway, I took it home. I used my brother's jewelry equipment, so wrong type of torch for glass work, but got a really ugly flute, and it worked. I brought it to show my mom. I was living at home. I was 18, and handed it to her, and she goes, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And the hole, one of the holes, it just broke right around it, popped out, and fell on the floor. right in front of her when I handed. She goes, I didn't do anything. I go, no, you didn't. Yeah, it was just I had worked so long on the same class. And so, anyway, they got me started, and I did craft shows for years, and then we started to do wholesale, and met Jenny, and wholesale went way bigger, and so and it's been a good life and lots of fun, and it's not over. And Debbie was one of our most amazing employees and has never been able to be replaced. Just amazing person, and then she practically raised our kids for 2 years. So yeah, and business. So yeah, we appreciate it. And so we have people from our Ren Fair here. Amazing knotwork chainmail, yes. Chuck and Val do candles, yeah, and beautiful candles, and it's always fun to see them at the Ren Fair. The only thing is it's so long not between Ren Fairs, so it's good to see you between Ren Fair. Cool. Yeah. And then family that traveled all the way up from Los Angeles. Thank you so much.
Wow.
And yeah, and lots of friends. Hey. Okay, so some of the things, some pictures from the past, if you want to browse. And what?
Probably should play us something. I don't know if you need a.
Amazing blue cobalt color, and I thought, oh, this is so awesome. And so I taped up the holes and poured this glass stain in, and then drained it and had them hanging on the clothesline, and they sold really well. And this one is 50 years old, and it's got like gold leaf put on it with lacquer over the top of it. And then I found out, I went to someone's house that had one of these after a couple of years later, and all of the lacquer was just peeling out of it. And it turns out that if you don't play it, it looks beautiful, but as soon as you start playing it, all the lacquer just peels out of it. I felt so bad because I'd sold maybe 100 of them, you know, and then yeah, but I really like the look of it. But just don't play it. And then we have one other one here. Where's the one with the harps? Oh yeah. So family friend Barb said I need to make a real high-end one, and this one's got cut glass and rubies set in it, and it was so much work that it didn't end up becoming a product, but it's probably my nicest group that I made. And I didn't have a machine, so I had to use a file and some oil. And so this is actually cut with a file and some oil. But it's a pretty piece, yeah.
Don't give it.
thing that you might not know is Jim has actually made all of the equipment that he uses to make the flutes. Because you can't just buy a flute making equipment. And so he's made a homemade lathe with roller skating wheels, and that was mysteriously dubbed the flute tractor because we had an employee whose husband worked at John Deere and kind of stuck a sticker on there when it was painted green.
So I got the John Deere sticker on it.
Yeah. And then another machine he made, when computers became a thing, he did an interface with the trolley that puts the flute in front of the torch to blow the bubbles. And that one, Trisha was probably 3.
So we were at a restaurant, and we were just goofing off, going, "Oh, we need a code name for this. Someone might want to make one of these, you know." And so we ended up calling it Blue Star, because when the torch hits it, it kind of makes a star flame. And so we were goofing around with it. And so I'll pass it back.
Yeah. So Trisha was barely talking and had a Fisher-Price computer, and she's pounding on it. Blue Star's working. Blue Star's working. I was so excited. But yeah, there's just been a lot of history, and it took 2 years to build. So but it's still working on a 1995 Windows computer.
Hopefully it doesn't die.
Yeah. But it's. My mother came to visit when we were first engaged and saw the shop, saw the roller skating wheels and the homemade equipment, and literally burst out laughing, wondering about the future of her daughter. But I saw the potential, I saw the life, and it was good. Still is good. So, anyway, we're done with this part. Please continue to enjoy food and music, and we just thank you everyone for coming and celebrating. Yeah. So in March, King 5 Evening came and did an interview for us. It is up on YouTube. You can Google King 5 Evening, Holt Christian Flutes, and it's just a 2-minute video, but it pretty much does capture the essence of what our life is. So if you haven't seen it, yeah, thanks. And I don't know if anybody has questions, but we can just get back to. Oh, some people do. Yes.
So we were all wondering how many flutes you've sold all these years. And they said Jenny would probably know before.
We really have not kept track. It has been thousands and thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but tens of thousands. So, I
We
don't
went
know.
back through the records, and
As long as we had computers, I think it was about 30,000 flutes. So,
Tom?
hey, did you ever learn how to play the flute? I worked on it.
So the group over here are a whole bunch of Jim's session friends from either Tugboat Annie's on Wednesdays or a Sunday group that sometimes plays at Cup of Swords Taverns. And we have Nina over here that owns Cup of Swords Taverns. If you have not been there, go.
So that's up
In Olympia.
it's up in Olympia. It's a Renaissance themed club. It's really fun. Cup of Swords, and it's on 4th Avenue, and you head up from town, called Cup of Swords. And it's a lot of fun, and I can see like 2 years from now it's going to be so eclectic, but you know it takes a little while before you get all the eclectic part. But it is in place and it's beautiful. And you can, if you come dressed up in Renaissance garb, you get $1 off your right. Cool. So anyway, yeah, I really love it. Are we done? Okay. So the drinks are free. Help yourself. There's might be some food left, but anyway.
The shrimp's been put out. The shrimp has been put out, it's thawed now.
Oh, shrimp and thawed, so help yourself. Okay. Thanks for coming, everyone.